And welcome to the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast. Once again, this is the sports show where we think we know what we're talking about, but we really don't know shit. My name is Emilio Bucks, and joining me, as per usual, the lady of the house, Miss Kristen Petit. How you doing, Kristen?
I'm all right. How are you, Emilio?
I'm hanging in there, all is well. And rounding out the trio of the usual suspects is the notorious T. Nick.
What's up?
Ain't nothing to it, brother. How are you?
Man, I'm all good, man. Can't complain.
Excellent. So this week we're going to kick the show off with a special guest host with us who actually does know shit about football.
Sometimes.
How you doing today, Rashied?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Happy to be here.
Welcome
Yes,
back,
sir.
Rashied.
Yes, sir. Welcome back.
B Twizzle is about to join us.
Oh, yes, sir. Another special guest.
It says
Joining
Bernard
us
on
here.
the screen.
Yes, Bernard. That's his government name. I don't think I ever called him his government name.
Nah?
No. Government. Oh, there he is.
Berrian.
There's the man.
Finally found it.
I don't see him.
You don't see him because he it's all dark.
I am. I'm midnight. That's all right, though.
I see you though. I see your teeth.
I see his teeth.
I see the smile. We see the
Nice
smile.
bright white teeth.
Hold on. I don't want to get pulled over.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
We don't want you to
Don't
get
do
pulled
that.
over, man.
But if you do, we got it all on tape, brother. Don't
That's
worry.
right.
We recorded.
That's right.
We recording. We got witnesses and everything, brother.
Keep your hands out the window. Don't
Yes,
do
sir.
nothing.
There you go.
See
There
how
you
witnesses do.
Thanks
How
now.
that works.
Dude, we know how that works. We need that.
Yeah.
Man.
And
So what's up with these Bears is what you said?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
What's
man.
up with these Bears?
You know what? Mitchell just happens to be the best quarterback for them right now. He's the best quarterback on that roster, and they may not block as well as they need to block for a Nick Foles, but for Mitchell Trubisky, because he's mobile, and he's just accurate enough. I think they've been able to get off that losing streak because of that. He's a mobile quarterback that can run and throw the ball on the run, which is why I don't understand why they don't do it more. But they also need to not forget that they won the first two games on the back of David Montgomery, and they need to ride that horse all the way through this next game,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
And it's been working well for him for the last few games, right?
Yeah, they need to run through that running game.
Yep. Just get that ball to Demo. Just give it to him. Let him go.
they need
And then if Mitchell is really being smart, he gonna find number 12 22 times in this Green Bay game.
That's the other horse he rides.
Man.
You know
That's
what
what
I'm
they
saying?
need to feed. That's what they really need to feed. But I agree with you, Sheed, about Mitch. To be honest, I don't think they should have made the switch earlier in the season to Foles. They should have left him roll with Mitch in the
You think?
and try to if they fix their line, you know what I mean? Like it works with Mitch because he's a mobile quarterback and he's able to make the moves. So but like if they fix the offensive line and like I said, keep toning with Montgomery and tossing to Allen, they can still make some waves. But we'll see what they do. I hope they bring Allen back for sure.
Man, they're
That's
crazy.
that's A1.
They're crazy if they don't. Who else they got? I mean, I like the pieces that they have. They got Mooney. Mooney is solid. Miller is solid. They got solid pieces, but they're not, in my opinion, at least not right now. They're not one. You know what I mean? So it's a different animal when you the one. Right. When you the one and defenses are coming to get you, and you got to produce. You look at Juju. You know what I mean? Look at Juju in Pittsburgh. When AB left, Juju ain't the same monster he was when AB was on the other side. You know what I mean? He needs another piece for him to be able to get off like he was getting off before. Not saying that he's not a good player. He's still a good player. But it's a different animal when you're the one.
And you're the one. It's true.
And it helps when you got somebody to take some of the pressure off of you. You know what I mean? Like, they don't just have to pay attention to you. Yeah. Well, speaking of Allen Robinson, so it's been, for fans, it was like up and down. In the beginning, we was like, why are they not re-signing this man? What is going on? And then when they was hitting that skid, it was kind of like, well, it looks like we're about to go into a total rebuild. So maybe it's good they didn't sign it because they need to clean house. But now what? They won 3 in a row. Now we're like, sign the man again. So it's just been that kind of season, man. So like you guys as receivers, like, did you feel the whole year, even during the losing skid, do you guys feel like, nah, they still need to bring A-Rod back?
Me personally, I've always felt like they need to sign A-Rod. A-Rod is a monster.
Yeah.
He's a true number one. You look at the quarterbacks that he's had throughout his career, and he's been over 1,000 yards pretty much every year, with giving whatever he's had, everything he's had thrown to him, good running game, no running game, whatever he produced. You know, I know he had his first year here was a little bit lackluster because he was recovering from that injury, right? But since he's recovered from that injury, he's been lights out, bro. I don't know what is holding them back from wanting to pay him, other than the fact that he's not as fast as, you know, Tyreek Hill. I mean, I don't know what it is. Open in the NFL is different for everybody that plays the position in the NFL, right? A-Rob is open when he covered because A-Rob gonna catch it. It don't matter. And as someone once told, as Musa Muhammad once told me, when they throw you the ball, catch it. Nothing else matters. They'll teach you how to do everything else. It don't matter if you got 1 step, 2 step, 3 step. Don't matter. Catch the ball when they throw it to you. Period. You know.
Exactly.
So
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, we can tell you both listen to that advice because watching both of you in your career, you made some catches. You were your quarterback's best friend. So
I had to be, because they only put me in on 3rd downs, and if I dropped it, they wouldn't put me back in.
We gonna look at it. Right. Like, damn, Rashied, it's all your fault. All your fault.
Fuck yeah. They ain't put me back in. I don't catch it.
So no, it's a must. You got to keep your firepower that you got here. Like Allen's, he's a star. You know, like Rashied said, he's a bona fide number 1 receiver. He's making it happen. And, you know, anytime when his name is called, he's making plays. He's making it happen. And when you got players like that here, you can't let them go. You got to keep them here. Got to.
Right.
And this is not an easy place to play receiver. You know what I mean? Musa Muhammad left here and said Chicago is where receivers go to die for a reason. It's not an easy place to play receiver.
Is it because your quarterbacks have always been?
It ain't just that. It's like it's the weather doesn't help.
The weather doesn't work with skill positions really out there. It really doesn't.
And then our field, Soldier Field. No disrespect to the grounds crew, but we know the Bears don't run that, right? The city runs that, owns that, whatever. And that field is in the world. That field is in the world. I'll say it like that. I don't know. You know,
they always talk about the turf monster.
Yeah, they always got somebody on it. They don't keep it pristine throughout the season. You know what I mean?
No, it's Bruce Springsteen is on it one
night.
To the streets. And the high school team is playing on it the next night.
I don't want to be disrespectful to the women. He belonged to the streets there. You know what I mean? Like, whatever you want to call that field, he or she, it belonged to the street. And so because of that, you know, it's never in great condition except for at the beginning of the year. And it's hard to run routes, first of all, when it's freezing out, and when it's wet and slippery, it's already hard to run routes. But then you put under your feet, you got this bad turf that slips every time you plant into the ground. It's not an easy place to play receiver, you know, which is why you don't see a lot of separation, you know, in the winter months. A-Rob doesn't need separation to be successful. That's why he's so good.
It's not an easy place to live in Chicago? Just period.
No, I'm still here. It's not.
Yeah. So speaking of that, B Twice, where are you at?
I'm actually coming back. I'm on the way to Fresno. I'm in Fairfield. I was just visiting my brother for the holidays.
Okay, right on, man. Yeah. I see you got a thin hoodie on. You just living the life out there.
Oh yeah, it's like what 60 out here. Yeah. It's nice and cozy.
Yeah, right.
I got on shorts.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got on shorts too.
Right.
I'm just in the crib with them.
Yeah, but we in the crib.
Yeah,
We in the crib.
I shoveled a whole bunch of snow today, and it was wet and soggy, and it hurt.
I visited the snow. I went to the snow.
That's right.
I love Chicago. I couldn't stand living in that snow, man. That stuff was nothing. It was something serious.
Yeah. So we're from here and we feel the same way. So man, like tell us a little bit about Bernard, tell us a little bit about your time here. Like did you enjoy what was, like how was your locker room experience? How was working under Lovey, and what was your experience like here in Chicago?
Everything was A+. I love Chicago. I really didn't. I honestly, I always tell everybody I didn't want to leave Chicago. It was hard to leave. The locker room was great. I mean, one of the best locker rooms. You can ask Rashied about all the locker room stories and the games we played all throughout the season, all the years throughout in the locker room. Warm-ups before practice, our warm-up dances, like everything about that team was fun and great. And,
you said warm-up dance?
It was. I mean,
yeah, we had fun, man.
Sorry if y'all heard that. Even playing for Lovey made it. As long as you were taking care of your business and taking care of what you had to do on the field, it was a nice, easy place to play. Like you didn't have to. You had to work, but it wasn't strenuous where there was all types of any type of pressure on you or anything, or outside of added pressure on you or anything. Like Lovey made everything real nice and comfortable for everybody to be able to play and go out and do what they needed to do.
Right on.
Yeah, Lovey's a player's coach, man, for sure. Like he took care of us if we did what we were supposed to do. Only thing that I didn't like, but it helped us, was if we had to play outside on game day, we practiced outside. We never went into that bubble. You know what I mean? If I could say there was anything different between our time there and the times that I've seen subsequent to us being there, they used the bubble a lot more than we did. Mm-hmm. We had, and I think that contributed to the successes we had. You know what I mean? Because we never were out of a playoff contention midway through the season. We may not have made it to the playoffs every time. We may not have had 10-win seasons every time. We did have 4 of them. We did go to the Super Bowl. We had a lot of success, but we were never out of it early. So there were some things that I think Lovey did that worked really well for us. And like Bernard said, if we went out and did our job, our nightlife was our nightlife. As long as it didn't put a black eye on the team, and what we didn't affect our gameplay and didn't affect what happened with, the organization and how people look at the organization, we were able to live our lives and do that successfully, basically.
Act like an adult, get treated like an adult, Just,
yes. Play stupid games, get stupid prizes. Yeah. So,
COVID strippers,
all of that.
We'll talk about that later.
Everyone, all we ever hear about is defense. And you guys were pretty good wide receivers and offensive players. Did you ever feel underappreciated as an offensive player because most of the positive attention went towards the defense?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, a lot of times, a lot of it was really warranted. There were times on offense where we really weren't doing anything. Mm-hmm. Like the Arizona game always comes to mind. Like we didn't do a damn thing in that game.
We didn't score a point.
And it was
that game.
We didn't score a point.
The defense was bailing us out, and it like being on the offense, you felt kind of embarrassed sometimes. Like, man, we got all this skill, and we time after time we can't do nothing, and it's like it gets struggling. So at times it felt like you definitely felt it, but at times you're like, man, I know we're a lot better than this, and you saw flashes of it. It's just we needed to take care of the ball, really, to be honest with you. If we take care of the ball, we're pretty much great.
I think our biggest time here, I don't really have any regrets, but I think our biggest mistake here, and it's not on us as players because we didn't make any of these decisions, but the biggest mistake that I think we made was moving from one offensive coordinator to the next so frequently, right? Like, because as Bernard will attest to this, learning an NFL offense, it's like learning a new language, right? It's not, the terminology might sound the same, but they don't have the same meanings, right? So a dig in one offense is not necessarily a dig in another offense. And I was blown away by that because everything that I knew about a dig route was run 20 yards down the field, come across the field. You know, at a 90-degree angle, that's a dig. You know, where I got under Mike Martz, and a dig was a drag route. Like, it was something totally different. Yeah, a drag route, bro. Look at his face. He like, what?
Now, please tell the audience, for those who don't know, including me, what is a drag route?
A drag route is basically you're running a shallow cross across the field. Like, you're going from one side of the field, say you're starting on the left, and you're running shallow across the field, like within 3 to 5 yards, hauling ass full speed to the other side of the field. Start on the left, end up on the right. Like, that's a drag route. And they're typically man beaters versus, and you run them, and you try to run, when you ever hear people talk about pick routes and stuff like that, try to run people into each other. So you got drag routes coming across. And then you got deeper drag routes that are play action. Off play action, right? You fake the handoff one way, the quarterback rolls out, bootlegs. You got a deep drag route coming. It's probably 10, 15 yards, post route. You know, I'm getting deep into it, but yeah, that's a drag route.
We love that. We love it. And that sounds wildly different than the other drag route.
It's wildly different.
20 yards and make
wildly different. Like a dig route is 20 yards straight hauling down the field, make the DB think you're going deep, break down, come 90 degrees across the field, fast as you can. That's a dig route, right? Like, that's everything we've been taught. I've been taught throughout college. You know, that's a dig route. But certain offenses, things change. People change terminology because they don't want other teams knowing, you know, their processes, their procedures, what they're doing, how they're doing them. And then you also have different OCs that they want different footwork from their receiver groups, right? And one offense, like, so with Ron Turner, everything was sharp cuts. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bernard, because I've been drinking, and it's been a while, but everything was really sharp. You know, everything's really sharp, right? So you haul and you have to learn to break down and come back at a sharp angle, like a 40, if you had a comeback, 20 yards down the field, come back at a sharp 45-degree angle back toward the sideline, you know, turning away from the quarterback. Dig routes were full speed, sharp angle, within 2 to 3 yards, you're back on your line, 20 yards, and you're running across the field. So very sharp, 2-foot plants, things like that. Well, Mike Martz.
Moose hated that.
Yeah, it's because it's hard, because it's slow. It takes away all your momentum. Right, and especially for big dudes like Moose is a big dude. Big dude.
But
right?
I'm just talking about the initial stem of the route too. Moose, you know how Moose wanted to work his route. Then no, straight forward, to be straight creative. Down, come out the straight angle. Like Moose, like, what is this?
Yeah.
There's no no real for Moose. There was no chemistry with the quarterback. Like for him with that, he wanted to be able. I want to be at a certain spot. If the quarterback knows I'm supposed to be there when I'm supposed to be there. Like, it don't matter what I do to get there, I will be there when the quarterback wants to throw the ball. Let me work my route. And I feel like a lot of routes we see today are almost similar to that. I'm watching the receivers. I'm like, man, they got a lot of freedom today.
Man, I'll be over there blowing away, B. I'm with you. I'll be going like, I can't. If I had done that, they would have fired me.
What?
You know what I mean?
What?
Like, so look.
Get him out. Get him out.
To that point, right, with Ron Turner, to that point right there, when you left, you know, I told Drake, I said, Drake, this is when Wes Welker went to New England. He had first went to New England, and he was lighting it up, right? Yeah. I play in the slot. I'm like, Wes ain't no better than me. You know, good athlete. He's a good athlete. I'm a good athlete. Like, what is he doing? You know what I mean? What is he doing? Right? So now one of the things was he's playing with the GOAT, right? He's playing with one of the best quarterbacks in the history of the game, under one of the best coaches.
Oh, man, we cutting in and out.
Under one of the best coaches in the history of the game, right? That being said, I wanted to try to see what he was doing as an athlete, as a player, that I could incorporate into my game and see if I could do it. Bro, I put the tape on and I'm watching it and I'm like, bro, if I tried this, I cut it off within 5 minutes. Like, if I tried to do any of the stuff that he was doing, they were going to fire me.
Yep.
Like, I can't, I don't have that freedom. Like, we didn't, in that.
So they don't give you any creativity. Like,
they didn't give us any creativity, right?
That's interesting.
No freedom. Under Mike March, it was still the same. There was no freedom. It was a little bit more freedom with stems and whatnot, but it was the stuff that he wanted us to do. And it was all speed cuts, right? It wasn't sharp cuts. It was all 1 foot plant, roll out of everything, try to keep as much momentum as you possibly can. So it's like I think of it like NASCAR, like race car drivers, right? You want to carry as much speed into the turn as you can so that you can come out as fast as you can, right? So that's how Mike March thought about running routes. And so things like if you ran a hook route, it wasn't a sharp run full speed this way, plant, come back this way. It was more like a hook route, looked like a hook. So it had a hook, like this crooked finger I have right here.
Which is more effective? Which was more effective, Ron Turner's way or Mike March's way?
Mike March, I would say, was the more creative, right? Like he was in my opinion, he's a creative genius on the football field in terms of what he did. You didn't have to be as creative and as skilled in getting open because he was going to figure out a way. You run your route cleanly. Everybody does what they're supposed to do. You come out of your break cleanly, you're going to be open because you're going to beat the defense. And that's typically, let's be real, that's typically what's happening in a game for the most part. Unless you're playing a man team, a team that plays strictly man coverage, most of the time the route is what's getting you open. It's not, it's the combination of routes that gets you open. It's everybody working in unison together. So if I'm running, like if we had, you remember, what's that play? Dagger, where I ran that clear seam route and you ran that big behind. So I was the clear route, the clean. I'm just going to haul ass. I'm fast. I'm running fast as I can down the middle of the field, right? And then I'm responsible for pulling everybody out. I pull everybody. I draw all the attention to me. Bernard, boom, breaks down, runs a clean route up behind it. QB throws it on time. Rex, Kyle, whoever else is a QB, hits him on time out of the break. He catches that dig. He's open. That route is basically a zone beater, and that's designed to work that way, right? When you're playing man teams, you have to be more creative as a player, but you have to be allowed to be more creative as a player. Because if you're not allowed to, then you run this risk in your head. Well, if I do this, I know I could potentially get open, but if I don't get open, I'm going to get chewed the hell out. So you got to make the decision on whether or not you have that. And for me, I didn't have that extra equity, right?
Yeah.
Fuck up. I didn't have that extra equity. If I fucked up, they're going to call me out. It's going to look bad.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Rashied don't do the right things. So,
Who was the faster of the two, you or Bernard?
Shit, Bernard.
Yeah.
Excuse my language. I'm sorry.
Bernard, did you have more freedom when you left on any other team? Do you feel?
No. To be honest with you, no. The same offenses when I left, they were pretty much the same route structure, same way. Offenses ran the same. So.
Okay. So it's just different period in the NFL now.
It's just depending on what offense you have, what coordinator, and how they run things. Yeah, it really is.
Right. Now, do you guys tip off your team?
What'd you say?
What's that?
I said, do you guys tip off your new team about your old team?
What do you mean?
You know how they're like that revenge game. So you say
giving out the revenge game, like the secrets or any secrets and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't really.
Like they about to run this. They about to run this.
Already know.
Yeah, it's not nothing they don't already know.
Oh, okay.
See it on tape already.
But yes, I told everything. It didn't help us. I was in Detroit. It didn't help us. I came here. We lost like 49-0 or something. I don't know what we lost by. We got whooped.
So Rashied, back in 2000, what was it? 2005, I think. Why the switch from corner to wide receiver?
Because Bernard and them was beating the hell up on me.
For me and Coach, we needed a receiver though. We didn't really have a third receiver though. To be honest with you, and we had all kind of DBs. And Rashied could actually play receiver. You know what I mean? He had hands and could catch.
What precipitated that was Mike Brown though. Mike Brown and other players, like Bernard and like Moose, precipitated that. But Mike Brown was the catalyst to that. Like he was the we be in our DB room, and Perry Fuel was our defensive back coach back then.
The DB coach?
The DB coach, yeah. Perry would be our DB coach, and I made the team by like the skin of my teeth as a corner. But there was it's another story behind that. I'll tell that another time. But when we be in meetings and we be watching film, and I'd have to at some point throughout the year, in that first year in 2005, they started having me play more receiver on scout team, because before I didn't play a lot. Like the first 4 or 5 weeks, I didn't play a lot of receiver on scout team. I just did my job on special teams and I did the DB stuff. But some people got hurt, went down. They needed another guy to come in and do the receiver stuff. And, I was having a blast because that's what I do. I'm a receiver. That's what I am. Mm-hmm. I just played corner because that's what they asked me to do, and I wanted to make the team. Right. And then, I don't think I would have made the team at receiver in 2005, not because I don't think I was good enough. I wouldn't have been given the opportunity because Bernard was drafted, I think, the year before that.
Yeah.
Justin Gage was a year before you, right?
Yeah. Justin Gage and Bobby Wade.
And then they brought in Mark Bradley.
2005.
Curry.
They brought in Aries Curry, Mark Bradley. They had another dude named Ford. They brought in Moosin. Yep. And so I wouldn't have had a legit shot at making that team for sheer politics. I'm a free agent out of the Arena Football League. Nobody expect me to do nothing. They wouldn't have probably given me enough reps to shine, And if I didn't do everything exactly the way that I was supposed to, I wouldn't have made the team, And so when they did bring me in, they specifically brought me in as a DB for that reason. Because at that time, they hadn't drafted any corners. And they had Nathan Vasher from the year before, right? And they just wanted me to beat out a good friend of mine I love to this day. His name is Todd McMillan. They wanted me to beat T-Mac. And that was my only job, was to beat out T-Mac. And I needed to do that on special teams more than I did at corner. And so I was able to do that. I was younger. I was cheaper. I wasn't that much younger, though, because I was a 4-year Arena League vet.
26.
I was old. You was an old youngin.
I was the oldest rookie in the NFL.
Old youngin.
man, you was old, man.
I was the oldest rookie in the NFL.
I know how that is. Yeah.
I beat him out. So when I did come over the corner, I eventually started playing receiver, and then Mike Brown started, looking at tape, and then, I'm having a blast over there playing around. And he's like, Mike B would be like in meetings, he would say stuff like, how many touchdowns did you have in arena last year? And I was like, what? And how many touchdowns? And I try to not say nothing because they be how we gas each other up. Like, I didn't know exactly what he was doing until years after. And I put it all together. But what he was doing was like, why the fuck is he playing corner? Like, why is he playing corner? Right. Because I have 44 touchdowns at receiver. That year, the year they brought me in, in arena, I was like, I tore the league apart in arena league. And so he's like, why is he at corner? How many times? And then we go through practice and nobody could cover me in practice. And they're like, what the fuck is he doing? And so he started the whispers. Okay. And then so we played Carolina in 2005 in the playoffs.
Yep.
Steve Smith and I are about the same size, and we do the role-playing thing in arena football. I mean, in the NFL with practice squad. So they said, you're going to be Steve Smith. And so because I had been in arena football for 4 years prior to that, and I played 2 championships, and I was an old rookie, so I understood like the magnitude of what we were about to embark on. Like, a lot of guys were young in the professional football realm. Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't play on that high level, but I was on a higher level.
You were a professional, though.
I was a professional. It was my job. Yeah. I knew it was a job, right?
Yeah.
So, and I knew the magnitude of and the difference between playing in the regular season and playing in playoffs. I had won 2 championships in arena football. And so I said to the guys, I said to myself, like, I'm gonna play for real. Like, I'm gonna really practice this week. I'm going to show y'all what Steve Smith is going to do. I'm going to play as hard as I can and show y'all what I can do. Not only what I can do, but what Steve Smith is probably going to do to y'all times 10. Right? Right. So I lit him up in practice that week. And that week, I ended up, that's when they transferred me over to receiver, because that week in the playoff game, I played receiver that game. I even went in. They didn't throw me the ball, but I went in on 1 or 2 plays in that playoff game. And then the next year, that's when Lovey, actually in the offseason, Lovey was like,
how many touchdowns you have last year?
Lovey was like, he brought me into the office at the end of the year because we lost to Steve Smith in that game. And I think that's the game where he looks at the camera and says, this might be a 200-yard game right here. He hit us up for 200 yards. He killed us.
They forgot what you showed them in practice.
Oh my God, he killed us. He crushed us. But Lovey came in and he said, Rashied, we're moving you over to receiver this offseason. You're gonna be receiver. And I said, that's it? All right, bet. I walked out. I was like, because I knew in my head, I'm like, y'all ain't got nobody that could beat me. Y'all ain't got nobody better than me. You know what I mean? I know who the number 1 and 2 are. That's Bernard. That's Musa. You know what I mean? I know who y'all number 1 and 2. The rest of them can't do nothing with me. So that's what I thought in my head, at least. And I went out and showed it. So
at one point, everybody knows they tried to make Devin kind of either the third or the second option. I'm not sure. Like, in your guys' professional opinion, like, it didn't quite work out how they expected. Like, do you guys have any insight on to maybe what it was where he wasn't quite ready for that role, or what was it? Why didn't that quite work out? It seemed like he had the athleticism, obviously, but.
No, yeah, he definitely had the athleticism. I just think I think how you kind of mentioned, he kind of wasn't really ready for. I think coming from college to the NFL offenses, they're similar in a way, but they're a little bit. It's a little bit more to take in. And I think he couldn't really process a lot of it sometimes. So it was kind of hard to make that transition. I think playing DB in college is not that much to really have to pick up. But when you come into the NFL and making that transition, it's kind of hard to do, especially in your first couple of years. So put him back there at return and let him do his thing, because he's an amazing talent.
Right.
I've never ever see, like, we call him anytime. Like, there's no, like, we call it anytime for a reason. Like, anytime he touches that ball back there, like, he's gonna score. Like, we would get up because we know, all right, what's he gonna do today? Like, we're gonna be, what yard line is he at? Let's go down to the 30, because we're at least, you know, it's gonna be at least a 30, 40-yard return every single time he touches the ball if he doesn't make it to the end zone. So it's like, it's just processing the offenses, I think, was the biggest problem. And I think he started to pick it up a little bit later on in his career, the longer you get in, because now you're a little bit more comfortable. Concepts are starting to become a little bit more familiarized, and it's a little bit easier to pick up, because now you're starting to move around different places, and you're saying, oh, these are kind of the same concepts, but like Rashied said earlier, that just the names are different, or it might be one or two differences within the same name or something like that, different variations.
I think you hit the nail on the head with that. But there's also, I think, other things. Like Devin, like you said, is the most gifted person I've ever played with the ball in his hands, bar none. With the ball in his hands, I don't see nobody better. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of different subtle nuances to playing receiver that a lot of people don't get. They don't understand. And it's not that Devin didn't get it and didn't understand it. I think that because he's so gifted as an athlete, he's one of the most gifted athletes that I've ever played with on both sides of the ball. He could do a whole lot. He's got tremendous athleticism, as we know, and he's got phenomenal balance. But you can't do any of it if you have to think about it before you do it. You know what I mean? Like at the NFL level, you can't be thinking before you react. Like you have to play off instinct. You have to know what you're doing and play off instinct, because if you don't, you're a step behind. And because Devin, I think, and this is just my estimation, I've never talked to him about it, but throughout his whole life, he never really had one position.
Nope.
Like,
just giving the ball.
Yeah, in high school,
giving the ball.
Devin can do it. Put Devin there. You know what I mean?
Devin, run.
Yeah, you know what I mean? In college, Devin can do it. Put Devin there. You know what I mean? And so when you get to the NFL level, though, we are highly specialized in our position groups, right? Devin doesn't have a quote-unquote specialty by the time he gets there. And if he doesn't, and I don't think rest in peace, Daryl Drake, our receiver coach who died a few years ago. Drake was more of a veterans coach than he was a rookie coach, than he was a young player coach, right? Because by the time you get to the NFL, most of the time you should be polished. You know what I mean? There may be a few rough edges here, a few rough edges there that somebody's got to rub off, smooth over, fix. You can do this better. You can do that better. I was one of those guys, right? And, I polished some edges before I made it to the NFL. When I got to the NFL, I was pretty much a finished product. Devin had rough edges because he wasn't a one-position guy, right? And if you don't have someone that's able to polish those edges, that knows how to, fix your flaws or help you work through your flaws, and then, like Bernard said, you got the terminology, you got the understanding of the position that you're playing, finding the open holes, the little nuances. Well, if this doesn't hit right here, I see that guy rotating. This is that defense. Boom, boom. I'm gonna keep going. I'm not gonna stop right here. So that's what got me on the team and kept me in the NFL. Like when I moved over to offense, I understood. I had a great coach, Mike Bajakian. Mike Bajakian was like, he taught me the offense.
That dude,
go ahead.
Bajakian is awesome.
Yeah. So Jake taught me the offense the first week. So I knew all the basics that I needed to know the first week. So all I needed to understand, like Bernard said, was NFL offenses are more intricate than college. Like they have hots and sights and things like that. And you have to understand blitzes and protections and when you're playing, especially when you're playing in the slot. And I played in the slot. I had responsibilities in blitzes. And so I was able to recognize those. And because I understood the position of wide receiver and I understood how to find holes in the zones and whatnot, when the blitz came, I knew what to do. I just reacted. I didn't think about it. You know, I just reacted. And that's what helped me. But when you don't have any of that stuff right there, you don't understand defenses from an offensive perspective. It's different from a defensive perspective. Because when I walked into a defensive room, I felt like I was in another world, right? Like they draw the I vividly remember this. Like walking in to the Bears defensive DB room and watching them draw up plays, and I'm thinking in my head, why y'all drawing it backwards? And they had to tell me, no, Rashied, you're on defense. We are going this way. You know what I mean? Oh, man. Funny. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of stuff that goes on, but Devin was one of the most, is still to this day one of the most athletic people I've met.
Absolutely.
He and Danielle Manning. Danielle Manning?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Ah, Danielle Manning.
Man.
Hey,
now, Bernard,
yes.
last time Rashied was with us, he told us the story behind one of his memorable catches. It was against the Vikings we talked about. So do you have a memorable catch, and are there any stories behind any of your memorable catches?
I mean, the 99-yarder, that's one.
The one against us?
Yeah.
I promise you, Bernard, that's what popped into my head.
that revenge game.
That was one. Because I wanted to stay. I didn't want to be on another team. I really didn't want to leave. You know, I was like, man, I'm gonna show these fools. So I'm gonna get one.
Hey, so
I was like, thank you.
So just put it down.
God damn.
The revenge game is a real thing.
Yes, it's a
thing. That one, but my memorable catch is the playoff game against New Orleans. The 2006, that one in the snow.
When you roll backwards into the end zone.
Yep. I was more. That one was more. I was pissed off the game because that DB was terrible. In all meeting, all
he
week,
was trash.
Roast him. And I hadn't beaten him once on a deep ball that whole day, and I could have beat him like 3 or 4 times. And I'm like, man, we ain't connected. And finally, we had that last time, and I was like, man, I'm not letting this one hit the ground for nothing. I'm getting this, and I'm getting into the end zone. So
which one was that, B?
I was like, thank you. It's something I could get to. I'm like, yes, got it.
Which one was that, B?
The 2006 against New Orleans?
No, which catch we talking about? Because you had 2 catches.
Into the end zone.
The one where you, like...
rolling into the end zone.
You reached across the side, or like you were, it was almost like a jump ball, and then you came across the side.
Yep.
And caught it? Yeah. That one. You know, I have another one. My favorite catch from you in that game was that driving post. You remember that driving post?
In that game?
Wasn't it in that game?
No, you're talking about, I think, against Detroit, where I'm diving.
Yeah, it was across. You were starting on the left side of the field, and you hauled.
Yeah,
and Rex threw that thing.
Rex just threw it.
Man, he threw that thing so far across the field, and you caught it. It was literally like inches off the ground. You caught that thing.
Yeah, I smacked that one in like pretty much caught like the back end of the ball. He threw the hell out that ball. I ain't gonna lie.
Was that in Detroit? That was against Detroit.
Yeah, it was against Detroit at home.
Man, that game, that catch right there was nasty, B twice.
Was he supposed to throw it there?
No, yeah, he was supposed to throw it. Meet me at the pylon, basically. Throw it as far as you can. Bernard, run. Get on your horse. Put your head down and go. And he laid it out. I caught the back end of that ball, like 4 fingertips, barely, and held it in. I was like,
man, that catch was nasty. It was inches off the ground. I was like, God damn, I wish I had that kind of speed. Like, I could run with you for 60 yards. But about that, not even 60, about 40.
And legs stretching out.
No, bro, look, I tell people this all the time. They ask me, who's the best go-getter? If the ball's in the air, like Bernard Berrian by far, there's nobody I have ever played with or against. Because I played against Bernard in college, too. I got another story about that.
Yeah, we sure did. That was another memorable catch I was about to bring up, but I didn't want to do that to you.
Shut up. Anyway.
Do it to him, B twice.
Oh, man. I'll tell that story because I got a funny story. And he knows the story, too. Anyway.
Hey, does anybody still keep up with Rex?
I talk to Rex every once in a while over text. But that's
Trying to pull up when we get to grandma's.
Okay.
That's about it. You know, Rex, he seems to be doing okay, but I'm sure Rex is doing what he does. And, you know, he's out of the limelight like he likes to be.
Yeah. He had like a nursing placement, he and his wife, something where it's almost like a nursing staffing. And those are pretty successful because there's a shortage of nurses. So.
Man, I love Rex. Rex is my guy. Sexy Rexy is my dude, man.
You remember I told you last time, Rashied, that Rex always
Rex was her guy.
Yes, always.
My dude.
No matter what, I don't care. Yeah. I don't care what he did wrong. He was always still my guy.
What about Kyle? Is he?
I like Kyle too.
Is he the same kind of dude out of the limelight? No attention. Don't fuck with me. I'm good.
Have you seen him?
Yeah, I haven't seen him.
Have you heard anything from him?
No. He's not on anyone. He
not
never
at all.
Shows.
He damn sure ain't on the gram.
He hasn't been on a reality show.
KO ain't nowhere. KO is doing KO somewhere.
That's good for them.
Yeah, that's good.
Whatever makes you happy.
Right.
KO's a good dude, though.
It seems like, you know, whenever you hear from anyone who was on those teams, like everyone just has such fond memories. And it seems like even like with this Bears team right now, everyone seems very family-like, friendly, gets along, will have each other's back. And it really, like, whenever we talk to you, Rashied, or you just hear any of you guys talk, it seems like you guys were like that. What made that whole Super Bowl team, I know you said this before, Rashied, but you can share more. And Bernard, what made them so special? And still makes them special to you.
Starting to hurt a lot right now. Yeah.
Go ahead, Rashied.
I don't know. I think we just liked each other for the most part. You know, we had fun. Like Bernard was saying earlier, we had fun. Like we went in the locker room and we played. We didn't even have a game room. Like they got a game room now. I know we got one later by the time that I was leaving, but we played badminton in the locker room. We played baseball. We got in trouble for playing baseball in the locker room.
Everything.
You remember that being twice? We got
he didn't
cuss us out.
That's what made the team fun.
Yeah, but Lovey was like, Jiminy Christmas, you remember that?
Is that really what he said?
100% what he said.
That's how Lovey rolls.
100% what he said. Jiminy Christmas, you guys. You know what I mean? I don't mess with Lovey though.
Boy, that's funny.
I don't give a damn what people say about what he says and how he speaks. Lovey got a scar from here to here, and he from Big Sandy, Texas. I don't mess with nobody. From Big Sandy, Texas, with a scar from here to here. I don't give a damn what y'all say. Y'all better leave that man alone. Don't ask where he got that scar from.
Or what he did to the other dude.
Yeah. Hey, real talk. Like let's not get it twisted. He older. He from a small town in Texas. There's racism involved somewhere. So,
somewhere.
And his name is Lovey, so he had to grow up fighting.
Man, what?
Just on that. Like, yeah, so what? My name is Lovey.
He fought his cousins, mamas, brothers, cousins, uncles, everybody. He fought everybody. I ain't messing with Lovey.
Bernard, what was your welcome to the NFL moment?
My welcome to the NFL moment. Actually, my welcome to the NFL moment was one of them was like being around all the other guys at like rookie symposiums and stuff like that. But finally, when I actually got on the practice field, I really wanted to see like who are the stars, like who, because you know what it is when you're a kid and you're like, oh, that one's supposed to be a star. That one's like, that's Jesus, that's God right there. Like, you know what I mean? I wanted like, I'm here. I wanted to know like who is it? And then I got out there, and the one guy that really was like, you know what? Everything they talk about him is really true, and it was Urlacher. Like I was really amazed, like what the plays he was making during practice. Like when the veterans finally came after we had our rookie camp, the veterans finally got there. You all right, buddy? No? Then sorry, my son's in the back. He's having stomach problems, but
that's okay.
We finally got there and seeing him work and the way he moved on the practice field. I was like, man, that's a big dude moving like that. I ain't seen nothing like that. But it was great to see that he lived up to what I had seen and heard on TV.
Okay.
Great.
Okay. That's cool. Is Briggs a Hall of Famer?
Yep.
Is Briggs a Hall of Famer? Yeah, of course.
I believe so.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, he's definitely Hall.
Yeah.
For me, he's one of the most instinctual players I've ever played with. Like he would do things that the coaches would be like, they circle him, highlight him with the red dot, looking at the young linebackers like, that's Briggs, don't do that. But he will make the play. Period. Like, right. And that's really what it's about. Like at the pro level, there are rules and things that we need to follow. There are things that we have to do. That being said, at the end of the day, it's about making plays. It's a $1 billion business, and it's about winning. You know, if you don't win, people get fired. Everybody gets fired. But if you win, everybody get paid. Everybody gets paid. The lowest man on the roster gonna get paid an extra check because other teams want to know why you were on that roster of all those winners. You know, they want to know what we did here, even if you just did nothing.
Now, Rashied, it's ironic that you bring that up. If you lose, everybody gets fired.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
Everybody stays and gets paid. So if the Bears win, if they beat Green Bay to go to the playoffs, let's just say they win the Super Bowl. Does everybody get a clean slate?
Wow,
what's that? Repeat that.
They beat Green Bay.
Yeah, repeat that.
I said,
you went a little too far.
I had to mention Green Bay.
They beat Green Bay.
Okay, so all right, we don't necessarily win the Super Bowl. We just beat Green Bay. We get in the playoffs. We might win the game, whatever. Does everybody get a clean slate, including Pace, Nagy, and Mitch? They stay.
One playoff win.
If they beat Green Bay, first of all, they gotta beat Green Bay to go to the playoffs, correct?
Oh, they beat Green Bay.
Or Arizona has to lose.
I said beat Green Bay, go to the playoffs. They don't win the Super Bowl, but they win. And you said if you win, you stay. Do they stay?
In my opinion, if they go to the playoffs, they should stay. I don't think they should get fired even if they don't go to the playoffs, to be honest with you. It's kind of hard for me to judge anybody based on this season. This season has been crazy, right? Like there's been
we heard
unless you were absolute hot garbage, right? Like some teams were absolute. Everybody in on the Jets should be fired. Everybody. I don't call for nobody's jobs, but everybody on the Jets, they need. I won't say everybody. That head coach got to go.
You just call for their job.
Adam Gase.
He is hot trash. As me and some of my homies say, he trash juice. That little liquid in the bottom of the trash can that
you got to go rinse your can out.
You feel like you need to like sterilize your whole body.
Gross.
He is gross as a head coach. He's gross. Anyway, I don't think though most teams in the NFL, I don't think should be judged based on what happens this year. This year has been tough for everybody.
So you're saying this year everything has an asterisk, right?
In my opinion, I think for the most part we should. I think those who did well should maybe even get a plus mark. Plus line. Like I don't know what you did to manage this year, but you did very damn well to manage everything that's going on this season and still be able to get your players out there and win games. What Green Bay is doing, for me, is phenomenal. What Kansas City is doing is phenomenal because it's already hard to win. And then you add to the fact COVID and everybody being locked away and then trying to manage those personalities and manage, people not being able to live normally. That's difficult, in my opinion. So that's my opinion on it. Bernard
what Green Bay and Kansas City are doing, isn't that what everybody's supposed to do? Well, they're all paid professionals, right? So they're supposed to perform.
Common sense ain't so common.
It's not common.
So, and that being said, I say that because in relation, what everybody can do one place is not necessarily what someone can do somewhere else. Look at where Green Bay is. Don't nobody even want to live in Green Bay.
Like, what the hell is Green Bay?
Green Bay? Like, I've been there. I not no disrespect to people live in Green Bay, but they don't want to live
I'll
there.
I'll disrespect them. I'll do it.
You know what I mean?
Green Bay.
I'll do it too.
Nobody want to live there.
Cheesehead ass.
What is there? There's no distraction. What are you distracted by? There's no distraction.
Cheese.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no distraction. So
yeah.
Other places though, you got a place like New York, you got Washington, you got DC, you got Chicago, you got all of these different places that have big city nightlife, Los Angeles, whatnot, that have a lot more distractions, and
Sure.
And not saying that this is what's contributing to what Green Bay's success and Kansas City's success is, but nobody is saying, I'm going on vacation to Kansas City, unless you like barbecue. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Or whiskey.
And I like barbecue, but I go to 71st Street for barbecue. I don't need to go there. I go to Limbs, so I don't need to go to Kansas City.
And I can go to the liquor store for some whiskey.
I don't.
All right, so Rashied, you say everybody should be coming back next year. Bernard, should everybody be back? And by everybody, I really mean the guys who the conversations about them not coming back were obviously Mitch and Pace, Nagy, really those three.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with everyone coming back, but I do want to make sure that Nagy sticks to being a head coach and just be a head coach, and that's it.
And let Bill Lazor
go get a coordinator, and let the coordinator coordinate. Like, you had your shot, you had your run, you messed that up, you mucked it up all you wanted to, and you're done with that. Like, hold on, you all right?
Yeah. What I would hope for Nagy,
I don't have a problem with that thing.
What I would hope for Nagy is that he would not just let the coordinator be the coordinator, but I would hope that he stops trying to be Andy Reid and trying to run a Kansas City
people what they aren't.
Yeah. Like you don't have Tyreek Hill. You don't have Patrick Mahomes. You don't have those guys.
You don't have Travis Kelce.
You don't have Travis Kelce. You don't have those guys. So to run that that jet sweep with Cole Kmet. You know what I mean? Like,
my God.
I almost lost my shit. Like, why are you like a jet sweep? Like, I understand if you're gonna run the, you know, and then, look, I played against Nagy in Arena Football League. Like, I got much respect.
Oh, okay.
I got much respect for him, and I got much respect for those coaches that coach the game. That being said, there's just some things. Like, come on, we're on the 1 yard line. You got Montgomery, who's been quoting the rock. You know what I mean? You got Mitchell Trubisky, who's your quarterback, but he ain't Patrick Mahomes. He can't throw the ball 52 times a game. You got to run your offense in a way.
You got to run.
Yes, you got to run your offense in a way that limits the mistakes from the QB position, but also accentuates the skills.
That's what Stefanski.
Yeah.
That's what Stefanski does with the Browns.
You know what I mean? Like the skills. You got the skills. He's got skills. Like Mitch, I don't think Mitch is a bad quarterback.
No.
I think Mitch has skills. It's like a person with ADD. You can't freaking force the person with ADD to do shit that he can't do. Like, pay attention. Like, no, that's not what his skill set.
It's like pay attention.
You know what I mean? Like, no, he don't pay attention like you pay attention. Like, he pay attention by playing with a fidget spinner. You know what I mean? Like, that's how he pay attention.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mitchell Trubisky
did it too with Tannehill.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Mitchell Trubisky. Mitchell Trubisky, he's athletic. He runs. He throws the ball. He can do things really well, but you got to work within his skill set. Make your offense fit around the players that you have. And if you're not creative enough to do so, hire somebody who is.
Someone who is.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because you have what you have. Your staff can only get you what they can get you. You know what I mean? And in some instances, as a head coach, you're not even allowed to be in on that conversation. Like, you get very minimal input on that conversation as to who is drafted where. You know what I mean? So when you're only given that, you got to deal with what you got. And if you're not flexible enough to deal with what you got and use what you got to have success, and you're only rigid and you try to make everybody fit into a cookie cutter mold, everybody don't fit a cookie cutter mold. Don't be a cookie cutter coach.
I mean, he can't. Nagy said, "I didn't come here to run an I formation." You know what I mean?
Well, you ain't fucking in Kansas City. Excuse me, you don't have to bleep a lot of this. You ain't in Kansas City.
No, we leaving all this shit.
Oh no, we're okay with
none of this shit.
Yeah.
No.
You ain't in Kansas City no more.
Man.
You are in Chicago. It's colder in Chicago. I don't care what you say. I've played in many places. I ain't played in nowhere colder. Period.
Out on that lake, brother. Yes, sir.
And I ain't played in nowhere colder. I ain't played in nowhere that's cold that has a crappier field. You know what I mean? Right. So we got to do what we
feel
and use what we have to our advantage. And
that's it.
And running the ball here in Chicago should be king, right? Defense.
Yes.
Well, no, I'm sorry. Defense is king.
Defense is king.
Run game is king B, right? Like, it's king B. Special offense is Prince. You know what I mean? Being able to score a lot of points shouldn't be your mindset. Your mindset should be about winning games. It shouldn't be about throwing the ball all over the field. I don't care if you was a QB whisperer and you had Patrick Mahomes here. If you got Patrick Mahomes here and you throwing the ball all over the field and you ain't winning no games, that don't have no goddamn body.
Don't matter. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Look at Dan Marino. Dan Marino is the GOAT. Yep. He's the GOAT.
He ain't got no jewelry.
How many championships he got?
Look at Warren Moon.
Warren Moon. The GOAT. How many championships they got?
Yes, sir.
So I'm not of the same mindset that most people are when it comes to the quarterback being the god of the team.
God, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we already know, like, they showed the world, As players, we already knew that the quarterback being captain of the team is a farce, right? The world, Washington showed the world that the QB being captain of the team is a farce. We picked him. Like the players didn't pick him. They have us vote. But the players didn't pick Dwayne Haskins. Players wouldn't have picked Dwayne Haskins, knowing Dwayne Haskins. Not saying that Dwayne is a bad dude, and I'm not sitting here trying to beat Dwayne Haskins up. Dwayne is a young man, period. He's a young, wealthy man who needs to mature, period. That's it. Doesn't matter if he's white or black. That's who he is. He's a young man that needs to mature. But he wouldn't have been picked by any veteran as a captain. Don't nobody listen to him. Ain't nobody gonna listen to him.
Is he gonna get another job?
Yes.
He will.
Yeah, he'll get another one.
Yes. Yes.
If.
But it's a big if. The if is that he's got to show maturity. He's gonna get it. I won't say he'll get another job. I'll say he'll get another opportunity.
Okay.
He'll get another opportunity
to compete.
In that opportunity, he's going to have to be above board on everything. He's going to have to be me. Like the guy you got from Arena League who, we ain't pay no money, no signing bonus, no nothing. Like he's going to have to come in and he's going to have to keep his head down and focus on playing and work and feeding his family. But if he can't do that, then he'll go like Ryan Leaf. He'll go like Jamarcus Russell. He'll go like all the others who were drafted high. And then he's got to live the rest of his life with that regret of being a bust.
So let me ask you this before we wrap up, man. Let me ask you this. Both of you all spent enough time in Chicago to know Harold's or Uncle Ring?
I never had Uncle Ring.
What? You never had it?
No.
Wow. Bernard, how about you?
Yeah, I have. And
I'm
gonna have to still say, I still have to go Harold still. I still like Harold.
Harold's, yes. Yes. Southside Delight.
I ate Harold's every week before the game.
Every week before the game.
On Saturday, I promise you. There was a Harold's across from the hotel we stayed. Right across the street from the hotel we stayed. I walked my black ass over to Harold's every Saturday and got what was it? I think it was a 6-piece wing.
Okay.
Give me all the gizzards. I'm on.
He's like, give me all the gizzards. I want all the gizzards.
Y'all do the mild sauce.
I want the gizzards.
You know what I mean? I don't do the mild sauce. I want straight up hot sauce, 6-wing, you know what I mean? And go fuck it up in my own.
Okay, before we get your keys and predictions, do either of you have anything coming up? What should we be looking out for from either one of you in the future?
I got nothing coming up right now. Right now, I just started coaching again, actually, to be honest with you. I started coaching. I'm out of high school.
Tell them about your dancing, B. Tell them about your dancing.
Oh, yeah. All of this. Look at you. Tell them about your dancing.
I was going to ask if you're going to get on any more reality shows, judging people like back in the day.
Be twice over here doing all of this.
Can twice cut a rug?
No, man, what? So I did, yeah. I joined a little dance team out here in Fresno. I was like, man, I need something to occupy my time. So the girl I was dating at the time, she liked to do the land dance and stuff. So I was like, she always wanted to go. So I'm like, man, I don't know how to do none of this. I was like, I didn't know how to do any of this. So she would take me, and then she would kind of guide me. She would kind of guide me through the dances, and she would turn herself, and I kind of figured it out that way and be like, all right. So she was like, she wanted to go back again a couple more times, and I was like, I'd go. And then she's like, well, you might as well take lessons. So she tricked me into taking lessons. I started taking lessons, and I started liking it. I was like, all right, this is kind of fun, actually. And then, it was good. It actually got kind of fun. And then one of the instructors, I started taking classes with some other guy because I wanted to kind of advance and get a little better. Because it's funny how people are talking about, like, they're like, you're so good. I'm like, well, it's not that really good. I'm just coordinated. I was a drum major growing up. I played the drums. I played football. Okay. Like, I'm used to coordinating and doing coordinating stuff. And I was like, to be honest with you, I probably would have been a dancer anyway. My ass was dancing like 3, always in front of the TV, routines, all of it, all them things. I was always doing it anyway. So I joined the team. He asked me, he was like, well, we need some guys. We're doing this thing in Reno, a competition in Reno. And we're short on males. We need some guys. He's like, you pick up things really quick. I was like, man, I don't know. Because I was like, I got my son. I got my kid. I'm like, I'm not going to be at all the practices. I'm telling you right now. I'm not going to be at all the practices. I'm going to be in and out. And he was like, it's okay. You pick stuff up fast. And I was like, all right. He's like, well, when is it? And then he told me the dates. And I was like, well, yeah, I can make it. So I just brought my son and all them up there or whatever. We did the thing. And I was like, man, I'll stay on the team. So I stayed on the team. And now, like, pretty much now, my travel is based around kind of the dancing and stuff. I do all that. I've been to Chicago, New Orleans. I went to Orlando.
Wow.
You're twice LA, serious with it.
A couple times. Yeah, it's pretty serious for real. I want to go. I'm actually starting to learn an African dance right now too. It's called Kizomba. Yeah. I want to learn that. That one I like actually the best because you don't really necessarily need African music to dance to. You can actually dance that song, that type of dance to any song. Any song. I don't care if it's a country song, as long as it got a beat, you can dance it to it. So that's why I really like that, because you don't have to worry about, what type of music. Do I need salsa music? Do I need bachata music? Or, whatever type of, you don't need it. If you got a partner that knows Kizomba, you can go dance it, no matter what's playing. So I like that.
That's what's up.
And then it's something African. That's my culture too. So everybody's you dance, you learning all the Latin dances. You don't know nothing about what you know. I was like, nah, I know some of that stuff too. But it's real fun. Like it's easy. It's something to keep me stay in shape too. So I'm not just sitting down. I don't like to run. I can't stand running.
You can't run
as much as you can run.
As I am, I can't do it.
The gazelle doesn't like to run. The gazelle.
The gazelle doesn't like to run.
So that's pretty much been occupying my time right now.
That's dope, man.
Okay. And you're coaching where? High school, you said?
At high school, at high school. Started this year. I've been doing, since I started coaching, I said I might as well do private trainings too. So I've been doing that stuff too.
Okay, great.
I'd rather develop kids,
awesome.
and I'd actually rather do that than the actual coaching. I'd rather develop the kids and just be a high school coach. It's a lot more one-on-one and more intimate. And then being with the kid from, 5 years old, 6 years old until they're high school, college, like you come up almost a parent from it.
Yeah, and like it's a mentor.
Yeah, exactly. It's better mentorship that way too.
Right on.
Great.
That's amazing, guys. All right, guys.
You have to tell us about Legacy.
Legacy. Oh, this is my be twice. This is my cousin's vodka. He's got a vodka company called True Legacy. Yeah. It's out. He's in LA. But I'll send you about. But
it's gonna be for the guests. I don't really drink no more.
That's too bad for you. I'm happy for your kidneys and liver and all of that. Eat it to the guest. Anyway, and now, before I get into what I'm doing, if you come out to Chicago again and do anything and you don't hit me up, you ain't never danced to the kid.
I hit J-Mac in there.
Shoot you in your pinky toe.
The last time I came, J-Mac hit me. He was like, bro, you come out here again, don't hit me. I was like, man, I was in Roseville. I was in
I don't give a goddamn.
Rosemont.
I was in Roseville. I was like, I don't
care.
All right, I'm gonna come.
We both gonna be there. We're gonna shoot you in your pinky toe. I'm gonna shoot you in your pinky toe. Damn. You ain't never danced again. Anyway.
You're gonna blow that crusty nog right the fuck off.
You better call the guard.
Anyway, but yeah, so that
what you got, Sheed?
Personally, I started on this real estate endeavor. I mentioned earlier, decided to get a real estate license, so I'm working on that. Still in the charitable realm, philanthropic realm, where I'm on a few boards, one here in the city that I live in, or the village that I live in, because we don't live in cities. We live in village in the suburbs.
Fancy.
Right.
Talking about bougie.
Yeah, bougie, yeah. I'm on the Human Relations Commission here in the village that I live in. I'm also on the board of Hire 360, which in Chicago has to do with construction and getting more people of color, particularly in the Black community, in the construction realm, trying to open up those doors and those gates. I'm also on the board of Saturday Place, the organization that I started, along with my wife, where we're focused on 3rd and 4th grade Chicago public school students' education. So trying to get them up at or above grade level. Excuse me, I had too much to drink. Don't look at these kids.
I love the kids.
Talking about the kids, Chicago public school students in education, man. So I'm trying my best to leave a legacy greater than what I started with, you know, and trying to also leave something for my family when it comes to real estate, and make sure that I leave something for my kids, and actually help them move beyond, even if they play sports or whatever they do. I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm going to give them something that they can do anytime, anywhere, any part of the world. You know, real estate, you can sell real estate anywhere, right? As long as you learn the basics and how to, you know, run the business world. And so that for me is what I want to leave to the world after I leave.
Right on. Sounds good. Okay, real pick. Who you got on Sunday? Bears. Come on.
I got the Bears, but I ain't too.
Not too positive about that.
I got the Bears, but I'm hoping the Packers don't come with a full deck.
I know, because Aaron Rodgers is an asshole, and he'll play just to beat us.
Stop saying his name. He like the candy man. If you say his name 3 times in a row,
3 times, he gonna come up behind me and just.
And he gonna kill everybody. Don't say his name that many times. Maybe he's gonna show up.
Yeah, because he said Little Green Bay against Big Chicago.
Yeah, that's just him talking crap. He's just being smug.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He is a goat. He is a living, walking, breathing.
That's what makes you so mad, because he's.
That's why you hate him. Yeah. If it was Matt Stafford, I'd be like, "Oh, shut up, fool!" You know.
Shoot, Matt Stafford is good too. I play with Matt.
I mean, yeah, he good too, but he ain't a GOAT. That's all I mean. Yeah.
Well, he ain't Aaron Rodgers,
he ain't no Aaron Rodgers.
No, there ain't no other Aaron Rodgers. Won't y'all quit it? Like there ain't no other Patrick Mahomes. There's no other one. There's no other Drew Brees. You know what I mean? Like there is no other.
Brady.
Who you got? B twice.
I got us.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. And I love that you said us. Well, I love that so many athletes that play here in this fine, very cold, but fine city, they still kind of call this place home, whether they still live here or not. Like, people do like to hear y'all talk about the locker room. I mean, we had Tommy on a couple of weeks ago. He was saying the same thing about, like, man, when he went to other teams, he was like, man, it just didn't feel right. You know what I mean? Like, it just wasn't the camaraderie, you know, that he experienced here in Chicago. So I love to hear that, man, you know, just as a fan, you know, because right now, you know, wins are coming at a premium. So, like, you know, we just got to ride this wave. But again, man, I want to thank both of you fellas for coming and taking time to talk with us. And you guys, Rashied, B twice, Rashied, you never shortchange us. You bring it every time. Like, you know, both of you guys brought it, man. And we don't know shit. And then the fact that you guys come on here and spend time with us, man, and school us and help get our views up. You know what I'm saying, man? Like, no. Nigga, appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
And we hope you'll join us again.
I'm a little emotional right now. A little emotional.
Oh, no, yeah. Sure. I love the show. I like the show. So I'll definitely come back.
I love it. I'm for sure. And we both, you know, we love black people too. So that's the other thing.
There you go, man.
You know what I mean? We got to
appreciate that, man.
A lot of us talk, but I know the two of us are about, you know, we really about that action.
Man.
And so, and from my
and it shows.
from my neighborhood, from my perspective, you know, what I learned was if you talk about it, you better be about it. I don't give a damn what it is. And so for me, I apply that to everything in my life. And so if I'm gonna talk about it, I'm gonna learn something about it. I'm gonna do something about it, you know. And so for me, I want to make sure that we all sing, all of us, you know, all of us look like me. If I can help it, we all sing. You know what I mean? We all enjoy life.
That's what's up, man. Absolutely, man. But hey, big clubhouse round of applause for Mr. Rashied Davis, Mr. Bernard Berrian. I will never call him Bernard Berrian again.
Yeah.
He will be twice.
Be twice.
Government name, and I'm now going to say be twice.
Be twice. He ain't never. You cannot call him Bernard. Bernard is like the government. You know what I mean?
Go ahead, boy.
Mama named him Bernard. You better call him Bernard.
Mama call me Bernard. You better call me Bernard. I'm gonna call you twice.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll let the fellas call you B twice. I'll call you Bernard.
I'm gonna call you B twice. I'm gonna even call you B Twizzle. Hey Bernard, I set this camera up for you. First of all, I set this camera up this way for you, so you can see that jersey in the back there. That jersey, you see that number right there? Can you drive it? You know what I mean? I said, yeah, that's Kobe. That's Kobe. I set that up for you.
They got lucky. They
I don't want to hear none of that.
That's why you trying to brag, right?
But Bernard is a Chicago Bulls fan. I don't want to do nothing about the Bulls. I support anything Chicago.
Thank you.
But I'm that guy right that team back there. I mean, that's why
I see B twice got the Jordan joint.
That's why I got his yellow hat on.
I see you got the gold beanie. I see. You know, it's all good, man.
Hey, my Jordans are even purple and gold. I'm just gonna let you know.
Oh man.
That's how much respect you got for the man.
But I do. I respect Jay. I respect Jordan. I respect everything that he did for the NBA. But goddamn it, my heart is purple and gold when it comes to basketball.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, B twice, man. You get home safe. Hope little man is feeling better. Rashied, man, you enjoy the rest of your night, man. We'll be waiting for that bottle.
Legacy.
Yes, sir.
That legacy.
True Legacy vodka.
Get that True Legacy going.
I don't forget it. At Legacy.
Yeah, at True Legacy vodka on IG. My cousin is Hero USC 23. He Hero 23 at USC. He played for the USC Trojans. He actually was my inspiration to play football and do it. Yeah, he played for USC when he won the Rose Bowl. When they won the Rose Bowl against Northwestern.
That's something.
Long time ago, yes.
Bernard, do you post any of your dancing, your competitions or your performances?
Oh yeah, I got a bunch up. They're up there.
You're on Instagram. Okay, we'll have to find. We're gonna
check them out. I'm gonna find it tonight.
Bernard is private. He don't let the world.
Then I won't find them.
He don't let the world see what's going on in his life. I don't give a damn.
All right, well.
I'll unblock it a little bit, unprivate it for a little bit.
Just give us about 30 minutes so we can attempt to follow.
Look at it.
Open it up for like 30 minutes and then we'll be
Don't unblock it. Just find their names. Whatever their names are, find their IG names.
Chicago Clubhouse.
There you go.
I'll have access to that. Find Kristen Petite.
Kristen Petite, yes. If Kristen Petite, messages you, you let her in. Don't let the world into your business, Bernard.
Pete. He already been on reality TV. He already let him in. It's all good.
All right, I'm gonna get back.
All right, y'all. All right,
thank you.
All right, y'all. All right, y'all be good. Happy New Year, y'all.
Happy New Year. Enjoy life.
All right, brothers.
And okay, we're back, and that was, as usual, a lot of fun. Mr. Rashied Davis. He's a great storyteller, and B twice.
B twice.
Our new friend of the show.
Our new friend of the show, B Twice. I'll never forget that, man. That was great. So, real quick, let's talk about some other sports. Kristen, it looks like, are your Cubs really rebuilding? They let your boy you go. What's going on? I don't know. You look disgusted.
Like we're supposed to feel sorry for them that they decided to buy up all that property outside of Wrigley Field.
Yeah.
That they decided to get a low budget TV station. I mean, it's not even quality. Right. But now as fans, we're supposed to be understanding. And now they're even talking about, there's rumors that they're going to trade Wilson Contreras. So who's our catcher? You got rid of Victor Caratini. So now we don't even have a backup first baseman.
It's looking like they're going by way of
Disgusting.
The crumble. You know what I mean? I understand. Sorry to hear that. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. White Sox 2021 World Series champions. You heard it here first. Remember that. I'm just throwing it out there. That's not a slight at the Cubs or anything. That's just, it's our year. It's time to bring it back. Bulls.
Yeah, I wish you guys well. My being angry at my garbage team doesn't mean anything.
Got nothing to do. Yeah,
I'm not one of those haters.
Me neither. I like the Cubs. I like the Cubs.
I just would, long as they're not playing like for both teams to be good at the same time. Why do we always have to take turns?
Yeah. Good luck with that. The head can't get in line with the ass. You know, I don't know what to say.
And the Rickies have money. Stop playing with us.
Yeah. T-Nick, how them Bulls looking?
Snooze TV.
Yeah. They won yesterday.
They did win. I didn't catch. Unfortunately, I watched the first three and didn't see the fourth one when they actually won.
Yeah, I mean, the first three was enough to make you be like, I'm not even watching.
Right, like I'm not even watching this right now.
But you know, nobody's playing defense. These scores are ridiculous, man.
In the league, like I mentioned, this is trash. Everybody,
come on, man.
Like when people get, Derrick Rose said it like last year. Someone mentioned something about defense. He's like, who plays defense? Let's just be real. Who really plays defense? You play defense at certain times when you need to make that critical stop.
We need to stop.
Yes.
But nobody is playing defense the whole game.
Nobody.
That's why.
And these scores are reflective of it. We're averaging like 104, 105 points.
Yes.
But we're like almost last in the league and put like we're scoring in the hundreds. When Jordan was here, we averaged like in the 90s barely.
It was something. The Indy score would be like 95, 92.
And, that's the third quarter score.
Like 130 to 115.
Yeah, well, I just gotta
look better. Yes.
But the Bulls is more like 140 to 110.
Right. Yeah. Just right. Like they still scoring points, but just I don't know, man. It's making me sour towards NBA a little bit, man, because it's just becoming kind of one dimensional in my opinion. It's just like chuck the three. You know, just throw the three up.
3-point contest. Let's just see who can hit the most threes.
Like, why
you know, it used to be, they used to say, you live by the three, you die by the three. But then Golden State won a championship living by the three. And so now that phrase went out the door. And now how many teams were ever as good as Golden State that could live by the three and win? Like,
they don't have Steph Curry and Klay Thompson or Klay.
And then Kevin Durant, you know what I mean? It's kind of disgusting. But okay, so as per usual, let's wrap it up with some predictions. T-Nick, Bears, Packers, the brawl for it all. Man, this Sunday.
I want the Bears to win. I really want the Bears to win. I want to even say the Bears will win, but I'm not. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say the Packers are going to win 21-17.
Okay. Packers 21-17. Kristen, what are your thoughts?
I have the Bears winning, and I have the score Bears 33, Packers 30.
Okay. I did learned in the past few weeks is the Bears are capable of scoring points when they run the ball.
Yes, run the fucking ball.
And that line has held up reasonably. I mean, they're not, amazing, but they held up. And, we joked about this early when Foles got in, and we're like, yeah, a mobile quarterback would do a little bit better. We were like, is it time for Mitch back? But here we are, 3 wins in a row with Mitch. So, yeah, I'm gonna pick the Bears because I think Aaron Rodgers is going to try to spoil the party, but he's not going to play hard for 4 quarters trying to spoil our party. You know what I mean? So, like, if we can control the second half, we'll win. And I'm going to say 28-24 Bears. Bears going to the playoffs.
Bear down.
Bang.
Wow.
Bear down.
I certainly hope so.
I hope so too.
Before we go, can I say something real quick?
Absolutely.
I know some people were mad at me a few weeks ago because I said that I was rocking with Deshaun. So some people kicked me out of their group. Some people stopped letting me advertise with them.
Wow.
So I just want to say, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I went with Deshaun for 1 week. But, that was it. So I'm a Bears fan till I die. I bleed blue and orange. But, yeah, I don't give a fuck if you all decide you want to kick me out your group or you don't want us to advertise. Because the clubhouse is here, baby. We here.
So who we got next week, T-Nick?
The last show. I'm about to cry, man. The last show for the regular season. We got Chris Zorich coming up. Chris Zorich played back in the mid-90s.
Mm-hmm.
For you all that don't know. And then we also have Tone Capone from WGCI. He's gonna kick it with us for a minute. So
all right,
we're gonna have a good last show, man.
Should be fun. And who knows if they go to the playoffs, maybe we'll have to come back for another one. I don't know. We'll see.
Hope so.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Bear down. And one last thing before we sign off, just want to give a special mention to the man who introduced me to sports. This man is the reason that I am a Bears fan, that I am a Bulls fan, and why I am most importantly, my favorite sport is baseball, and my favorite team is the White Sox. Special mention to my father, Vernell Chip Hardy. May you rest in peace, old man, and I will catch you on the other side. Love you. Signing out for the clubhouse, Emilio Bucks, Kristen Petit, T-Nick. Peace.